Journey to an unfamiliar village, a story filled with horror, a spine-chilling tale on YouTube, English. Before we start today's scary and horrific story, we would like to welcome you to the enigmatic world of Dark Shadow. Step into the shadows, where mysteries unfold. Are you ready to embark on a journey like no other? Join us in the realm of Dark Shadow, where the unknown becomes an enticing adventure. Imagine a place where secrets are revealed, where the supernatural dances with the ordinary, and where curiosity leads you to the extraordinary. At Dark Shadow, we delve deep into the enigmatic and the unexplained, weaving captivating tales of the mysterious and the macabre. What awaits you? Thrilling stories, from spine-tingling ghost stories to mind-bending riddles. Our channel is a treasure trove of narratives that will leave you breathless. Unsolved Mysteries. Explore the unsolved cases that continue to baffle experts and uncover the truth behind these mind-boggling enigmas. Paranormal Encounters. Are you a believer? We'll take you on a journey to uncover the eerie, the supernatural, and the unexplainable. Visual excellence. Our videos are crafted with the utmost care to provide you with a visually stunning and immersive experience. Join our community. Dark Shadow is more than just a channel. It's a community of like-minded enthusiasts. Share your thoughts, theories, and experiences with fellow seekers of the unknown. It's time to dive in. Subscribe to Dark Shadow today and become a part of our ever-growing family of explorers, investigators, and lovers of the mysterious. Prepare to be captivated, to be thrilled, and to be left with questions that will keep you coming back for more. Don't just watch the shadows, become one with them. Subscribe now and be ready to embrace the enigma. Let's move on to today's story. Thanks for listening. Hello, I'm Mark Johnson, and I've always had a fascination with ancient, eerie places like old villages and houses for as long as I can remember. My wife and I would often explore these locations together. I had a particular fondness for traveling along desolate and chilling roads, though little did I know that this love would lead us to a terrifying encounter. Our tale began when my wife and I started watching horror movies and listening to spine-chilling stories every night. I had a well-paying job and decided to purchase a van to embark on adventurous trips with my wife. Our goal was to seek out mysterious and frightening experiences, even if it meant encountering terrifying creatures. Looking back, I wish we had never embarked on these journeys or even entertained the thought of facing such horrors. My wife, in her wisdom, would often caution me, saying, "We don't belong in these games. Let's live a normal life." But I was determined to prove myself, always responding with, "Are you scared?" I would then convince her to join me on these scary adventures. In a nutshell, the back of our van became our second home, equipped with all the necessities, including a TV and a mini fridge. One day, I stumbled upon an address near Bannock, Montana, shared by a colleague who hailed from the same town. Learning of my love for horror and thrills, he urged me to visit this village, but he also warned me to carry extra supplies like gasoline and spare parts. What he didn't reveal was that this place was a cemetery, with a small, ancient hut nearby that once served as the village's church. This church had been abandoned due to a series of unsettling incidents, where the youth of the village either perished or took their own lives within its ominous walls. I kept this dark history from my wife, knowing that if she found out, she would oppose a trip. Despite my colleagues' repeated calls urging me to turn back, I laughed off his concerns and assured him that nothing would happen to us. He bade me farewell with a grave sense of foreboding. We finally arrived near the village, and the distance from the nearest town was substantial. To reach our destination, we had to traverse a desolate 12-mile dirt road, and dusk was slowly giving way to darkness. The road was eerie and silent, and I suggested to my wife that she rest, but she refused, claiming she couldn't sleep. Suddenly, we encountered an elderly couple, both around 50 years old, walking along the road. They appeared to be returning from farming, carrying shovels and axes. I stopped the van and asked them for directions to the village, to which the old man responded, "You don't want to go there." Intrigued, I pressed further, and the old lady warned us, "No one goes there. We grew up there, but we wouldn't dare visit, not even in broad daylight, with a large group. We value our lives." My wife grew increasingly anxious, especially after hearing that no one had lived there for several years. I inquired further, and the old man advised, "It's cold tonight. We've shown you the way, but reconsider going. The creatures in that village show no mercy to anyone or anything." My wife implored me to turn back, fearing the ominous tales we had heard. However, I reassured her, saying, "Don't worry, dear. This is exactly what we wanted, to face scary creatures." Little did I know how wrong I was. Upon reaching the village, it was pitch black, and the isolation was overwhelming. There was only one dim light in a distant alley, with no other signs of life. Suddenly, an elderly man, roughly 70 years old, appeared, herding a large flock of sheep past us. While preparing dinner at the back of the van, I asked him if he was from the village. After we finished eating, we were startled to hear the sound of the approaching sheep again, this time behind the village cemetery, dangerously close to us. I suggested we take some food and water to the old man. My wife hesitated, but ultimately agreed. Armed with flashlights, we ventured into the darkness, following the sounds of the herd. However, as we walked, we heard someone or something trailing closely behind us. The fear prevented us from turning around to investigate. In an attempt to calm my wife's nerves, I said, "There's no one here, dear. Maybe we were just imagining things." At that moment, a chilling voice, unlike anything I'd ever heard, pierced the silence. "I wish you hadn't come here," it hissed. Terrified, my wife and I dropped our supplies and fled in sheer panic. Running toward the faint light emanating from the cemetery, we hoped it would lead us to shelter or the home of a kind-hearted soul. To our dismay, there was no light at the cemetery, only darkness. We were utterly lost and desperate. I asked my wife if there had been a house here before, and she replied, trembling, "Yes, but not anymore." Suddenly, the entire flock of sheep transformed before our eyes. What were once sheep became grotesque creatures with hoofs, elongated ears, long faces, and bruised bodies. I couldn't believe my eyes. My wife, overwhelmed by fear, had fainted. In the midst of this nightmare, the same old shepherd approached me menacingly, his voice dripping with malevolence. He declared, "You'll never leave this place alive. I felt paralyzed, unable to respond. He repeated his terrifying words several times, and the grotesque creatures, previously silent, now erupted in eerie laughter. At that moment, I summoned all the courage I had left and cried out, "Oh, Jesus Christ, help us!" I repeated this plea with every ounce of strength in me. Slowly, the eerie entities began to retreat, and I lost consciousness. When we awoke, we found ourselves surrounded by elderly villagers from the same village. The oldest among them, an elderly man, questioned our presence. They had noticed our strange car and found the abandoned supplies on the road, prompting them to search for us. The elderly man asked why we had come to such a perilous place. He told us that nobody ventured here because it was incredibly dangerous. He added that we were fortunate that God had shown us mercy, as no one had ever left the village alive after encountering its horrors. Since that night, my wife and I have been taking neuroleptic medications to cope with the trauma. We pray that no one else experiences the horrors we faced that fateful night. If you found our story captivating, please like and share it so that others may learn from our ordeal. Subscribe to our channel, and feel free to leave a comment. Thank you for your attention. We hope that sharing our harrowing experience will serve as a cautionary tale for those who may be tempted to explore the unknown or dabble in the realm of the supernatural. Our lives were forever changed that night, and we fervently wish that no one else has to endure the terror we faced. In the aftermath of that traumatic encounter, my wife and I have sought solace in therapy and support groups. Nightmares plague our sleep, and every dark corner seemed to conceal lurking horrors. The fear etched into our minds was a constant reminder of the malevolent forces we had unwittingly crossed paths with. Our advice to anyone considering venturing into the mysterious and the eerie is simple: heed the warnings of those who know better. There are places in this world where darkness reigns, and curiosity can lead to unimaginable consequences. We had been blind to the warnings, eager to prove ourselves against the unknown, and it nearly cost us our lives. The residents of that forsaken village were living testament to the horrors that dwelt within. Their isolation was a defense mechanism, a way to ensure their survival amidst the malevolent entities that lurk in the shadows. We were lucky to escape with our lives, thanks to their timely intervention. As for the elderly shepherd and the grotesque creatures that haunted that cursed place, we can only hope that they remain confined within the boundaries of that village, never to venture out into the world beyond. In the years since that dreadful night, we've come to understand the wisdom in my wife's earlier words: we don't belong in these games. Let's live a normal life. Indeed, there is a profound truth in her statement. The pursuit of thrills and the unknown can sometimes lead to horrors beyond imagination. So, to those who are drawn to the darkness, remember our story as a cautionary tale. There are places where fear reigns supreme, and the price of curiosity can be far too high. Cherish the safety of the known, for once you step into the abyss, there may be no return. Thank you for listening to our story, and may you find wisdom in our ordeal.